Hello everyone, my name is Pavitra Vyas from Department of Information Science and Engineering, Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. Today, I'm going to explain about a topic called IOT physical devices and endpoints, that is Raspberry Pi. Introduction to Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi is a series of credit card sized single board computers which is developed in the United Kingdom by Raspberry Pi Foundation to promote the teaching of basic computer science in school and developing countries. The original model became far more popular than anticipated, selling outside its target market for uses such as robotics. It does not include peripherals and cases. However, some accessories have been included in several official and unofficial bundles. The organization behind the Raspberry Pi consists of two arms. The first two models were developed by the Raspberry Pi Foundation. After the Pi Model B was released, the foundation set up Raspberry Pi Trading with Eben Upton as CEO to develop the third model, the B+. Why Raspberry Pi? We consider or we prefer Raspberry Pi because it is inexpensive, cross-platform, simple, clear programming environment, open source, extensible software, and extensible hardware. The below diagram is the figure which represents GPIO pin-out diagram. This is a figure which represents Raspberry Pi model B2 and its GPIO. Processor. These are the components of Raspberry Pi. First one is the processor. The Broadcom BCM2835 SoC used in the first generation Raspberry Pi is somewhat equivalent to the chip which is used in the first generation smartphones, which includes a 700 MHz ARM 1176 GZFS processor, video core 4 graphics processing unit, that is GPU, and RAM. This has a level 1 cache of 16 KB and a level 2 cache of 128 KB. Power source. The recommended and easiest way to power the Raspberry Pi is via the micro USB port on the side of the unit. Third one is the SD card. The Raspberry Pi does not have only any locally available storage accessible. The working framework is stacked on the SD card, which is embedded on the SD card Raspberry Pi. GPIO. GPIO stands for General Purpose Input Output. GPIO is a non-specific pins on a coordinated circuit to know is an input or output pin which can be controlled by the client at the runtime. GPIO pins have no exceptional reason categorized and go unused as a matter of course. DSI Display X. The Raspberry Pi connector S2 is a display serial interface DSI for connecting a liquid crystal display LCD panel using a 15-pin ribbon cable. Audio jack. A standard 3.5 mm TRS connector is accessible on the Raspberry Pi for stereo sound yield. Any earphone or 3.5 mm sound link can be accessed straightforwardly. Ethernet port. It is accessible on the Model B and B+. It can be associated with a system or web utilizing a standard LAN link on the Ethernet port. CSI connector CSI. Camera Serial Interface is a serial interface which is outlined by MIPI, Mobile Industry Processor Interface organization together went for interfacing computerized cameras with a portable processor. JTAG headers. JTAG is an acronym for Joint Test Action Group, an association that began back in the mid-1980s to address test point get to issue on PCB with surface mount gadgets. Raspberry Pi interface. Raspberry Pi has serial SPI and I2C interfaces. Serial. The serial interface on Raspberry Pi has receive and transmit pins for communication with serial peripherals. SPI. Serial Peripheral Interface is a synchronous serial data which is used for communicating with one or more peripheral devices. I2C. The I2C interface pins on Raspberry Pi allow you to connect hardware modules. I2C interface is an synchronous data storage data transfer with just two pins, SDA, that is data line, and SCL, that is clock line. Raspberry operating system. Various operating systems can be installed on Raspberry through SD cards. Most use a micro SD slot which is located on the bottom of the board. The Raspberry primarily uses Raspbian, a Debian based Linux operating systems. Operating systems which is not Linux based. RISC OS Pi, FreeBSD, NetBSD, Plan 9 from Bell Labs and Inferno, Windows 10 IoT Core. Operating system which is Linux based. Debian using Kodi open source digital media Cantor, OpenSUSE, Raspberry Pi Fedora Linux, Pyrora, another Fedora Linux optimized for Raspberry Pi, Gentoo Linux, Diet Pi, CentOS or OpenWRT, Kali Linux, Arc OS, Kano OS, Nard SDK. Media Center operating systems: OSMC, OpenELEC, LibreELEC, Debian, Rasplex. Audio operating system: Volumino, Pi Music Box, Rune Audio, Mo Audio, Recall Box, Happy Game Center, Lakha, ChemiConPy, PyPlay. Here I complete with my topic. Thank you. Have a nice day.